Good afternoon. I'm Lucas Panzica from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Week 1 of training camp is wrapping up for the Tennessee Titans. Media not present today as the team does a jog through. They'll be back at it tomorrow for the open practice at Nissan Stadium beginning at 11 a.m. In NFL news, Detroit Lions kicker Michael Badgley will miss the remainder of the season. Adam Schefter reporting it is a torn hamstring. Badgley briefly kicked for the Titans in 2021 and spent a few days with the team in training camp of 2023. The Patriots and defensive back Jabril Peppers have reached an agreement on a 3-year extension worth $24 million with upside to $30 million, according to a report by Field Yates of ESPN. And in college football news, Georgia wide receiver and Mississippi State transfer Rara Thomas was arrested early this morning on multiple family violence charges and was being held in the Athens-Clarke County Jail, according to jail records. The athletic department stating that this is a pending legal matter and they had no further comment. This afternoon, Nashville Soccer Club will hold an introductory press conference for new manager B.J. Callahan starting at 3 p.m. Callahan will coach his first game on Wednesday as Leagues Cup kicks off. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
I'm already going to tell you, just go ahead and buckle up. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just go ahead and buckle up.
Oh, man.
Welcome in.
You're making me nervous. What is going on?
Because
it's Friday. It's supposed to be Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And we cannot promise you that in the next 2 hours, you're not going to sit back and go, what in heaven's name did that just happened? As he is the hitman, Blaine Bishop, I am Joe Hunk, brought to you by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. And you've heard on the show multiple times, we've mentioned the Phantom First Hour. The Phantom First Hour, where an hour before we start, Blaine, myself, Reed.
Great minds.
Amazing minds.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like Knights of the Round Table
We
stuff.
got cum laudes in there, valedictorians, and Jackson.
And Jackson. All of us.
And Reed.
So we're sitting. And
Whoa.
no.
No. Well, I'm in there, too. I
Yeah.
don't know. Mine is, I'm at the bottom of the total pole there.
So in the last, not even the last Phantom in the Phantom Hour, it was the last 10 minutes between the moment, it was between 12:50 and right now, which is 1:03. So 13 minutes.
Right when Reed got there.
Right when Reed walked in, we started going down a rabbit hole of conversation.
Well, it started because he had Omaha on his chest.
Yes.
Omaha. And then he says, yep, Peyton Manning's at the Olympics.
And people have forgotten the Olympics have started today, by the way. The opening ceremonies are going on as we speak. We have them on in the studio right now. Lady Gaga was just performing a few seconds ago.
They're doing something, kicking up in the air. It looks really
It looks awful.
It looks great. It looks fantastic.
It's like the Olympics bought those kicker dancers.
They're doing more. They're almost like they're picking up their dresses and everything and doing splits and stuff.
It's like they wanted the Rockettes.
The guys are doing it too.
They wanted the Rockettes, and the Rockettes weren't available. So they got somebody to be the Rockettes.
Ooh, that hurt right there.
So between the Olympics, Simone Biles, who has come up in conversation the last 5 minutes.
Oh.
She has. And then we got to talking about Jerry Jones and something he said yesterday. And then it miraculously got to a name that I promise you, if we were to say 615-737-1045, we would love for you to guess who we talked about before the show started today.
No, it's two people. It just dawned on me who you're talking about now because we talked about so many people. But we also talked about the UCLA head coach. I'm not going to say who you're thinking of right now. I'll let you do that. But yeah, he was a ding dong.
He was.
And I know of him and know people know him, and I cannot believe that happened. But you can freeze up when you get in front of people sometimes. You just never know.
Well, I mean,
it's tough, man, when you're at the Big Ten media days and you start hearing yourself echo and then you freeze. Sorry, that can't happen. Can happen.
No. But if you are wondering what Blaine is talking about, this is what he's talking about.
Coach Foster, welcome to the Big Ten. We'll begin with your opening statement.
How you guys doing? I'm happy to be here. Glad to be a part of this great conference. Finally putting two great emblems together, UCLA and the Big Ten. We're a school that's won, 123 championships, so this fits us being right in this conference. Football-wise, we're just excited. I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, but our football program, but we're in LA.
What are you doing?
It's us and USC.
Oh, okay.
We
Okay, bye. He might as well just said bye.
Dude, what is he doing?
I'm just basically excited. Really.
Oh, I'm good.
That's it.
I'm glad.
Any questions?
Yeah. Are you okay?
In a second.
Are you okay?
What's that?
Sir,
I am so. Oh man, I'm. This guy's a well-spoken guy, man, and it just baffles me sometimes. Some people can get choked up. Every now and then it can happen. I don't know how that happened though.
For those of you that don't know, we're UCLA. We're in LA.
For those of
with
didn't know,
USC.
we're on 104.5 The Zone from 1 to 3.
From 1 to 3. And
we have, Reed today, but we may have Jackson tomorrow.
Yes.
Or another day, just during the week.
Yep, just Monday through Friday. For those of you that don't know, the Tennessee Titans play here.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right,
it's we have a football team,
Right.
by the way. They're named the Titans.
Right.
For those of you that don't know.
So with that all being said, we have to figure out who was the worst between him, Jerry Jones, and then yours truly. I'll let you explain.
No, and I will also throw Matt Rule in there for just saying that the Big Ten is the NFL of college football.
Oh,
there's that as well.
Yeah.
But
Cornhuskers.
Alex on the F&M Bank chat, which you can watch by going to YouTube, Facebook, X, as well as Twitch, he said he had 6 months to prepare for his press conference. He may be a one-and-done coach after that because of it. Look, guys, this is not...
First impressions.
This is the reason I love Hard Knocks, because they give you the behind-the-scenes stuff with things like this. So in it... There was a point in time during Hard Knocks, I want to say like 2 weeks ago, where the general manager it was before the NFL Combine, as a matter of fact, because he knew media members was going to be asking him questions. They went over everything he was going to say. They went over it multiple times. They quizzed the Giants general manager about things he may get asked about during this. This isn't because he's an NFL coach. These universities all have people to do this. How did he get up there and totally blank? I don't even think he knew his name. I'm shocked he knew his name. I am shocked he knew his name.
Oh man, I'm stunned. I really am, because he's a pretty sharp guy. So that shows you, even sharp people can, have a bad day.
Yeah, and Jerry Jones was another one of these sharp people that could have had a bad day, because he does a hit on local radio in Dallas every single week. And one of the things that he eventually got asked about was about Dak Prescott. And he got asked about the contract situation and about extending him and extending CeeDee Lamb. And we'll have that for you in just a little bit. But the question popped up before the show. How did Jerry Jones become rich? Like, how did he get money? Because the man owns the Dallas Cowboys. He's turned them into this I think they may be one of the richest, and maybe if not the richest professional sports team in franchise in American sports,
maybe.
Not the world, because you put soccer and Premier League teams into that.
So we put our big staff of team members, and Bananas leading the way on the research for how he got his money. And so we're all assuming all was the deal. But we kind of stumbled onto some other things, at least according to Bananas or Zeph.
According to Zeph and Bananas, he says, and he's reading this verbatim, according to an interview of Jerry Jones on HBO after graduating from college in 1965.
From Arkansas, right?
From Arkansas, where he won a national championship, he borrowed millions of dollars from Jimmy Hoffa's Teamsters.
Who that? Reed's looking it up now.
Hoffa.
Who?
Jerry Jones is connected to Jimmy Hoffa.
Who that? Who that? Come explain to me who he is. A lot of people driving right now. They may, run off the road or have a, stop.
So for people that don't know, I'm a huge conspiracy theory guy.
What?
I am a huge conspiracy theory. Every single thing I think has conspiracy theories behind it. I do. I absolutely do. Now, I'm not saying I believe them. I'm just saying that I love to listen and to hear about them.
Got you.
Okay? We know that currently in America, there's a conspiracy theory going along about a certain presidential candidate and what may or may not have happened at a certain event. Okay? Conspiracy theories. Not saying it's real, not saying it's not. I love hearing conspiracy theories. Jimmy Hoffa has never been found. Jimmy Hoffa was the head of the Teamsters Union, and one day he disappeared. He totally disappeared, and his body has never been found.
I feel like my dog right now.
It has never been found. There are people that have said that he was buried below the old Meadowlands Stadium where the Giants and Jets used to play.
They did a Mythbusters thing about it. Yeah,
Yes.
they did it on Mythbusters.
They thought that he was buried underneath there. There are movies about Jimmy Hoffa and about how he was allegedly assassinated outside of a restaurant.
You got my
and picked up by like
turning.
There are so many conspiracy theories about Jimmy Hoffa.
The show has been bamboozled. The show is over. We're about to have people call in and tell us your most conspiracy theory that you've ever heard.
Yes. That's what this is, okay? And no, he's not the only one here. That when we talk about conspiracy theories, I have theories on a lot of things. Ryan Tannehill just talked to Diana Rossini and did an interview with her. I think that Ryan Tannehill's been lying to us for years. I think that I truly believe that.
You got to tell us on the other side.
Other side?
I can't. You got a Tannehill?
I have a Tannehill
Boring
conspiracy.
Tannehill.
Just basic Ryan Tannehill.
No?
I don't know. We'll have the answers. We'll have the answers for it because Tannehill met and talked with Diana Rossini as well on her podcast that she does. We'll have that for when we come back. The F&M Bank chat is blowing up about these conspiracy theories as well. 615-737-1045. I can almost guarantee you that if there was a bingo card, you never would have had Jimmy Hoffa and Jerry Jones on that bingo card for today's show. It never would have happened. He's the hitman, Blaine Bishop. I am Joe Hunk, brought to you by All Four Seasons Garage Doors here on 104.5 The Zone. That's one of the theories. The Mafia. That's one of them. Welcome in. He's the hitman, Blaine Bishop. I'm Joe Hunk, brought to you by All Four Seasons Garage Doors here on 104.5 The Zone. As somehow in the last hour before we even went on air, we went down a rabbit hole of connecting Jerry Jones and Jimmy Hoffa, which Blaine does not know who Jimmy Hoffa is, so we're going to educate him here in just a little bit about that.
Yeah, you too.
Because
He's an Indiana guy, born in Indiana.
What?
Yep.
What part?
So he's just like Buck. He's just like Buck. He's an
And
he's
I
an
didn't know
Indiana guy.
Buck's not actually from Indiana.
Oh, well, then he went to Indiana.
Well, watch this. Well, he went to IU. That's in Bloomington. That
Yeah.
is part of Indiana.
Yes.
Here-
He was
here's how
born in Brazil, Indiana.
I don't even
I don't know
know
where
where
that
that's at. But Evansville is where Buck's from. Just think of Evansville just like we think of Memphis.
Yeah. Like,
Is
they're
Memphis
not-
a part of Tennessee?
They're really not a part of Tennessee.
That's how Evansville is to Indianapolis.
Yeah. They're really not part of Tennessee. Like, there are many cities that you could say that as like, okay, they're in the state line, but they're really not part of Tennessee.
They're closer to other places.
To tie things in, I think there's a lot of people in Texas that will sometimes say, now Houston is part of Texas, but we really don't kind of count them as Texans. Like, just something like that I've heard through this. But
Dallas.
yeah, so now, speaking of Houston, there's a college that's really close to there that created a quarterback/wide receiver that eventually became the starting quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, and that would be one Ryan Tannehill. He did, I believe this was his very first interview that he has done after not being re-signed by the Tennessee Titans. And it was with Diana Rossini and Chase Daniels, who do a podcast called Scoop City. And Tannehill was on for about a good 35 minutes beforehand. And this first...
With Chase Daniels, too, by the way.
With Chase Daniels, this was be his first clip that you're about to hear is 1,000% Ryan Tannehill from the time that he was at the Titans. This is the exact type of stuff that you would get from him. And it was when Diana asked him about how he felt about the Titans signing or drafting Will Levis and eventually becoming the starting quarterback for the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say it's a fun place to be. Obviously, a lot of people have been through it. You know, it's nothing new. It's part of the business. And we had a good relationship, right? There was nothing, no animosity or anything, right? I didn't have hard feelings against Will. You know, he's trying to chase his dream just like, you know, I was coming out of college too, right? So there was no hard feelings there, and, you know, tried to help him out along the way, just like, you know, I did with Malik, you know, a couple of years prior to that, you know? So, you know, no hard feelings. Obviously, it's a weird feeling a little bit because you know the underlying theme of what's trying to happen, and at the same time, like, you know, you're doing your best to go out and win football games and you know, make that happen down the road and not right now. Obviously, we weren't winning a lot of games, so then I got injured, right, which made it happen sooner rather than later. But you know, we'll see what things happen. He's a very talented guy. You know, he's big, he's physical, he's got a great arm, and did some great things, you know, when he got in there last year. So you know, we'll see what happens, and I wish him nothing but the best.
I mean, that sounds about on par with what we heard whenever he was a Tennessee Titan, right?
Hey, that was right on point.
Okay, that was Ryan Tannehill to a T. And
time.
Yeah, and the next thing, or one thing that he was also asked about, was about Mike Vrabel, because Tannehill is gone, Derrick Henry is gone, Mike Vrabel's gone, John Robinson's gone. So this team is a lot different in 2024 where it was in 2022 as well as 2023. Rossini then asks him, look, should Mike Vrabel have been fired by the Tennessee Titans?
I don't know. I enjoyed playing for Vrabel. He did a lot of great things. You know, was definitely one of the best, not the best head coach I played for, as far as, you know, how we prepared as a team, how he educated the team on a weekly basis. Situationally, I always felt like we were really good, and game management, I felt like we were really good, and that's a lot where the head coach comes in. You know, I don't know what their reasons were for letting him go, but I am thankful for my time with him and how he, you know, impacted my career and made an impact on the guys around me.
Still sounding like normal Tannehill.
Mm-hmm.
Still sounding like normal Tannehill. So we all have been wondering, you and I talked about it before the show. Has Ryan Tannehill retired? Is he still wanting to play? Like, what is his plan for 2024?
I mean, right now, I think it's going to depend on situation, right? It's not at this point. I've been blessed to play 12 years and be where I'm at. So, just trying to weigh all those options, right? When the situation occurs, nothing really felt right, through free agency, and through that, I had a lot of peace with it. That nothing outstanding jumped up, and so just said, hey, I'll take a step back, and if something comes up on down the road, whether that's training camp, maybe a guy goes down on a team and gives me a call, you never know what's going to happen, right? So just keeping the options open, but at the same time, not waiting on pins and needles for that call, right? I'm enjoying where I'm at, enjoying where my feet are at, where my family life is, and if something comes up, then fantastic. I'll jump wholeheartedly into it, but at the same time, not purely just waiting on that.
I like the eyes that you have right now as you're listening to what
I'm puzzled.
Why are you puzzled?
Well, I mean, he's just, if the opportunity presents itself, I mean, just, hey, I'm looking to get back into the league, even if that's not true or not. That's what I would have said. I would have been more direct in that I'm waiting for an opportunity. Just right now, hadn't been the one that, I've wanted. So I'm waiting for that one. He just seemed as though he's half in, half out retired.
Yeah, he's like Switzerland. He's neutral on everything.
Yeah, that one's tough. I don't.
I'm
going to say this. Maybe quarterback is probably one of the few positions, maybe the only position, you can kind of do that. But once all the other positions, once you say, I'm thinking about retiring, it is over. Mm-hmm. It is hard to rekindle that magic and that intensity level and the work that you have to put in. That means you've already started the retirement part of process. Even if you're still working out, you're not working out to the level I'm going to go out there and I'm going to be great.
No.
It won't work.
You don't have the same drive.
Yeah, no, there's no way. Yeah, people called me my first year. I was like, no, there's no way. Because I would have had to put in a whole bunch of work, and there was no way. I'd already stopped.
Well, and
started doing media immediately.
Well, there's a reason why a lot of people, like, once they get out of sports, you see so many that eventually start going into like marathons, or they start going into like fitness and things like that because they need something to drive them. Like, if you're just working out to work out, a lot of people don't have that drive to go, all right, well, I'm going to go to the gym every single day and work out as hard as I was, because you're just not going to unless there's that carrot in front of you. But and Emmett even says, like, yeah, training camp has started and he doesn't have a job. He goes, I don't even believe that he is even a backup at this point in time. Now, that part is with Tannehill. He was even asked about the Joe Flacco thing, and they eventually asked him about this whole idea of staying in shape, hanging out at the house, and if somebody gets injured, because a lot of times that's going to happen, whether it's in training camp, first week of the season, somebody's getting injured and somebody has to punt and just go, all right, we need to go ahead and get somebody in. He was asked about Joe, if he was interested in doing a Joe Flacco situation.
I'm not ruling anything out, right? If it was the right situation and felt like, it was a good fit for me and my family, then, I'm not ruling anything out, just have to be, I know it doesn't really tell you anything, right? If I say right situation, but I can't write it down on paper exactly.
I know. Well, people don't understand. You got to move your whole family. If you're going to be in this, so you're going to have to move your whole family. You guys are set up in Nashville where you're at. You got a place in the Bahamas. Like, people don't understand the outside influences. So I understand, and I understand you're trying to give the viewers and the listeners something, but I get the right situation talk.
Yeah, I mean, I hate just giving constant blanket answers.
I get it.
Says nothing, but at the same time, it could be, in place A through C or A through whatever G, but then also, it's got to be what time of the year is it? Exactly. What's the number? What, you know what I mean? So it all
for sure.
It all works together, right? And I feel like it's one of those things, when you know, and I feel like if that opportunity comes, then I'll know.
What was it? What was that one part?
What the number?
What the number is?
Oh.
He's just not gonna pull a Jamal Adams and just kind of come in for the league minimum to prove himself.
Oh no, that sounds like, hey man, I know I'm worth more than that. I'm not gonna just come in here and be like, take this. No can do. Yeah, so now we got to see a little bit of, what his thought process is right there. He gave us a hint.
And we're talking about conspiracy theories and about, if what you believe and what you don't believe in all this. And there have been a lot of times where we have thought that Ryan Tannehill is as boring can be. Like, it's his press conferences not giving it, like, always in the middle, always being boring. Like, that's been Ryan Tannehill's shtick. Like, we've heard it through, I want to say almost every media member I know that's ever covered Tannehill has said the same thing. I am now starting to believe that this was all a front.
What? What are you talking about?
I going back to conspiracy theories, I think that Ryan Tannehill has been putting on a front this whole time when it comes to his press conferences.
Like conservative, and that's
no. It's not like,
what do you mean?
Not like he's like this horrible person or anything like this. I'm saying I don't think Ryan Tannehill is this boring guy that we all want to think that he really is. And the reason I say this is because you heard all of this stuff. Hey, should Mike Vrabel get? Well, I don't know. Is he retired? Well, I don't know. Is what did he feel about Levis? Oh yeah, I don't
typical
know.
Tannehill.
Exactly. It's always like in the middle. But when the interview first started, the first question he was asked was, "Where are you at right now?" And you heard part of the answer just a second ago. He says, "Oh, well, I'm in the Bahamas." The second question is, can you explain to us what you're doing in the Bahamas? And he said that he was spearfishing. Here is Ryan Tannehill explaining spearfishing.
I'm actually in the Bahamas. I'm soaking up the sun, trying to spend some time on the water. So life's good.
Take us inside the day in the life of Ryan Tannehill if you're going spearfishing.
So I use a pole spear primarily in the Bahamas. So you can't use a gun like you see a lot of people use in the United States. In the Bahamas, you either got to use a sling or a pole spear. So it's basically like a 11-foot long pole with a rubber band on the back of it, and you just run your hand up the pole, hold on, and then when you let go, the rubber band propels it forward. But you don't have a lot of range with that. So typically you got to get your spear tip, within 2 feet or so from your target to get it there fast enough to get a kill shot.
Uh-oh.
During this interview, and it's on YouTube, they show video of Tannehill spearfishing. Like from his point of view, from people filming him. It was Tannehill actually put it out himself because it came from his Instagram, and it shows him all of like 2 feet away from a fish and spearfishing.
Oh, he looked like he was a killer.
Like this man,
Spearfisher.
and I mean this in a way like this. You don't go spearfishing if you're a boring person.
He had on the whole suit underwater and everything. It was like, what are you doing? There's a lot of stuff down there you don't know about.
What did he start learning to do last year? Started learning to fly planes.
Oh, that's
I don't know boring people that fly planes. Like hey, cool, I'm just going to learn to fly a plane.
This is true.
Ryan Tannehill is a thrill seeker. I'm telling you right now, Ryan Tannehill is a thrill seeker. Like, he's the type that would go diving with sharks. I totally believe this now. This whole thing that he's doing as far as this, I don't know. That is a total front for the media. It caught a gut feeling. This man is a thrill seeker. He is going to be doing like some of that crazy, like skydiving solo, like that sort of stuff.
I feel duped. I think you're onto something. I really do. Look, I can't believe it. You're right.
Yeah.
Who becomes a pilot? Oh man, that's a daredevilish type. Oh, I don't know no parts of no flying no plane.
I have never.
Maybe because he has his own plane.
He has his own plane. Like, I've never known a person that has wanted to become a pilot and it just did it because something to do. Like, you do it because of the thrill of flying yourself in the air and that whole ability of you're controlling everything up in the air.
Oh no! See,
that's why rock climbers climb rocks and mountain climb and all that other stuff. That's why you see like bungee jumping and stuff. Like,
no,
you never did bungee jump? Oh, see, I always wanted to do the.
I was always afraid it was going to break.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. No, it really does.
But not adventurous people, so you're adventurous too.
Oh, see, I would absolutely do this stuff when I was a teenager. Yeah, when I was a teenager, I wanted to get a dirt bike. But my parents wouldn't do it because the reason I wanted the dirt bike was because I was all about the X Games and I wanted to do the tricks on the dirt bike, and they knew I would kill myself. Like they knew it. So I never was able to get a dirt bike.
So you're just going to do tricks on the curves?
Yeah, absolutely. Just do a bike. Just do a bike.
All you can do is fall. You can't do it if you're doing the course now. That's one thing.
Yeah, see, it's not
all of us did that. I had a dirt bike, the swing, the BMX. All of that. Oh, yeah, I love all that. Yeah, get on the back of them and flip it around and spin it around up in the air. Yeah, you gotta
absolutely.
do that. That's what guys do.
Yeah.
I've been bungee jumping.
See, he's been bungee jumping.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I did do it one time, but I was not comfortable.
Yeah, see.
I was not comfortable.
Mine was on a hanging gondola, like over in like a valley.
No, that I did not do.
So you take like a rail tram to get there, and they have like a weight limit of how many people can be on there. It was crazy.
All right.
It was scary.
Yeah, big hit man. I'm about to tell you something. I got on one of those. What do you call it when you get on there and they strap you in and you like sling yourself or you ride?
What is it?
A zip line or like
zip line?
Okay.
I did the zip line. I was so nervous walking up the steps. My hands were shaking.
Was that like was it on Stratosphere or whatever it is in Vegas?
And I was in actually some other country.
Yes.
And I was going through the forest. And I go, oh my gosh, and I was shaking. Only thing that saved me when I walked up the thing is my wife's like, well, if I do it, you have to do it. And I was like, okay. And I settled down, but I was nervous as crap. But then once I got to going, I was super excited and relaxed, and I felt safe. I don't know why, but I felt like it was unsafe because guess why? You say control up in the air. Well, I had no control, and that's what scares me.
And see, Tannehill, on the other hand, they showed videos of him hunting. There was some that was just regular fish, but they also have a video of him hunting crab and like
he had a big old crab in his hand.
Yeah, jerking. He was pulling the spear out, and it has him like diving directly into these rocks and going into these rocks that are blind and just sticking his hand deep in there. Like that is thrill-seeking stuff.
Yeah,
that isn't. I'm a boring guy and I just enjoy sitting at home and watching my movies. Like that's none of that. See, like the squirrel suit. I always wanted to do a squirrel suit because that's like skydiving, but on steroids. So, like, if you don't know what the squirrel suit is, it's a suit that you put on, and not only do you have your backpack on or your pack on that you're going to be skydiving with, but your suit also has like what looks like wings on the side, so you can sail through the air and stuff.
I've seen that
fly.
before. You
absolutely?
wanted to do that?
Oh, I'd love to do that.
Oh no!
Love to do
way.
that.
No,
Reed,
would you do that?
I would do it.
Oh my gosh, no
Yes.
way. How do you become an expert at that? How do you learn how to fly? Did you practice?
Well, you can't fail, I'll tell you that. Because if you fail, you're gone.
You can't fail.
If you fail, you're gone.
That's my whole point. Are you practicing?
Well, I guess you have to. Like you have to get like
where are you practicing that at?
Was it you'd probably do like one of those skydiving wind tunnel things that you get into, like
Reed's up for Googling right now. How do you practice?
Yeah, how do you practice that?
We talking about practice.
I feel like Ryan Tannehill would be doing that now because somebody even said,
I think you're onto something.
Yeah, see, so somebody even said in the chat, look, if Tannehill's retired, he's just living his best life, and dude, I agree. But I don't think that he's this boring guy that we've always thought that he was for his time.
Boring guy's just sitting at the beach, having a Mai Tai, sitting there reading a book.
He's in the Bahamas, and he's not just sitting on his back deck looking over at the ocean, reading the latest novel that he just decided to get because Tom Clancy novel. He's not doing that. He is spearfishing in the Bahamas where he has to get 1 to 2 feet away from whatever he's hitting. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a fish or a shark. Like, that guy is...
And that crab was pretty big.
Yes, this guy's not boring. I totally think that he's not boring anymore. Like Tannehill seems like the guy that he would look at all his buddies and be like, come on, guys, let's jump off the side of this boat down that cliff right there. Look, this waterfall is only 45 feet. No big deal. Let's go.
Oh, my.
Like he seems like he's that guy now. Like I really do think that's him.
No, he's not that guy now. Once that guy, you're always that guy.
Yes.
It doesn't just all of a sudden happen.
See? Like, that's what I want to say. Like, look, it's cool if this is his private life. And I actually love learning about Tannehill and his private life now. Because if he's this guy is so much more exciting than the quarterback for the Titans whenever we're sitting there going, yeah, they played really good. And, we could have played better. Really think that we might have been able to? No, I don't want that guy.
Oh, okay.
I want the guy who's doing a backflip off the side of a waterfall going into the water. What if he was just been that way
because of Vrabel? The reason why I say that?
Yeah.
Belichick, Tom Brady.
Like he was being told to kind of be that borderline, like not really say anything guy?
I don't even know if he was told. I think they just knew not to.
Oh.
Now, what do you think then?
Oh, man. Come on now.
I do not. I mean, Tom Brady wasn't all out there. He would try to joke around a little bit, but he was straight.
And when he went to Tampa, he turned into the real
Tom Brady.
Absolutely. So, like William Hobson says, Ryan Tannehill don't have to do nothing. He's made almost $200 million there in his career. Right. And so he can go spearfishing and he can go shark diving and he can do all that awesome stuff. I just wish we could have enjoyed it a little bit more. Like, I seriously think it would have been more fun to have this Tannehill over the last 4 or 5 years than the Tannehill that we got that was boring. I want this guy. We'll take your phone calls as the lines are starting to get lit up about this. Ryan Tannehill on with Diana Rossini. I'm telling you that we've been fooled. It's a new conspiracy theory. Ryan Tannehill has fooled us. He's spearfishing. He's that guy, man. He is a thrill seeker, I'll tell you. As he is the hitman, Blaine Bishop. I am Joe Hunk, brought to you by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, Tennessee, summer is in full swing, and Cool Ray's here to make sure your home is ready for all the fun and the sun. We've got some sizzling deals that will keep you comfortable and worry-free all season long. So ensure your family stays hydrated and healthy with free water quality testing, because nothing beats a refreshing drink of pure water on a hot summer day. So get ready for summer activities with a $500 off tankless water heaters and $250 off tanked water heaters. Perfect for endless hot water when you need it the most. And don't forget, keep your home cool and comfy with a $49 AC tune-up. And make sure your air conditioner is ready to beat the Tennessee heat. And this summer, let Cool Ray take care of your home so you can focus on making family memories. So call us today and take advantage of all these scorching hot deals. Cool Ray, your trusted partner for a cool and comfortable Tennessee summer. Visit coolray.com or call us now. And Cool Ray, keeping Tennessee cool, plumbing right, and always lights bright.
Do you know how many people would have to be getting tipsy to be doing some of the stuff that we talked about just then?
Yeah, I wasn't tipsy though, but I was scared, man.
Yeah. Look, it's those things, like, again, if Tannehill's made $200 million, the man can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that the things that he's choosing to do are not things that you normally do if you are a quote-unquote boring person like we've wanted to think he has been during his time with the Titans.
He got his pilot license while he was still a player.
Absolutely, because I remember, was it last season, everybody during preseason and during training camp saying, so have you flown with Tannehill yet? And they said, nah, we want him to get a few more hours flying before we do that.
Way, Jose.
Yeah. And Eric says, he goes, I don't know that it's necessarily a front that Ryan Tannehill's boring, but what do you guys want Tannehill to do? If he's politically correct in an interview and doesn't rock the boat, he gets called boring. If he does rock the boat, then guys get called divas. And that's coming off the F&M Bank chat that you can get in by going to YouTube, Facebook, X, as well as Twitch. No, I never, and I was like, never said that. I'm just saying, through his tenure in Tennessee, he got labeled that because any question that you asked him, he did give a very Switzerland-like answer.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't.
I would like to see some personality.
Yes.
With that, you could still be that way. I use Tom Brady when he's with the Patriots. You still saw his personality. He just wasn't out there giving you his real answers of what he wanted because he didn't want to say something that could be construed something else. Well, we got to see the real Tom Brady when he got to Tampa Bay.
Right.
See, so you can still show your personality, still be, bland in your answer, but have some sense of humor with it too.
Well, and you saw it even in the roast of Tom Brady. Like, you got to see more of that personality that he has. And that's the thing is I don't want you to be fake. I like realism. Like, I like real people. Like, that's just, I don't want a front. I want you to be legit. Let's take away all the things and take off all the fake stuff and just give me your real person. And that's who I want to see. So with Tannehill, like, if you are the spearfisher, if you're the thrill seeker, bro, I want to see that because that's awesome. Like,
maybe nobody had ever asked him, so he never had to volunteer the information. Maybe he was always that way.
And maybe that was like, hey man, what have you ever done? Oh, well, the wife and I were off on our boat in the Bahamas, and so there was a shark that was there, and it looked like it wasn't one that really was going to hurt me, so I just dove in and swam with it. Like, I want to hear that. Not Tannehill has never said that. I'm just making something up.
No, he did. Or he did. I thought he never said that.
I did not want that to go out of like, wait a second, Tannehill's swimming with sharks now? Like,
so what's the most adventurous thing you've done then? Because mine was, zip lining and parasailing.
So I've done zip lining. I've done rappelling off the side of buildings. I've done that before. I did that down in Montgomery. There was an event that we did, and I think that's happening in Nashville.
Now the Mohawk just explains everything.
See, the Mohawk is literally just a warning. It's like a redhead, man. Redhead, they let you know they're crazy before you even start going up and talking to them. So it's a warning sign.
Take me through what you did off the building.
So off the building it was for charity, and it was rappelling off the side of a building. It was probably, I want to say, 200 feet high. And so you get up on top of this roof, they hook you in, you have all your safety harnesses and things like that. And then you just rappel off the side of the building, and you're raising money for this charity. So
how do you get back up?
Oh, you don't go back up. You're down. It's a one-way elevator, man. It's
you just jump off and you go down.
Oh no, you don't jump. I mean,
what happened?
It's not like,
explain it to me.
So what you do is you gradually.
This is what some coaches do. They say, "Okay, Blaine, get out there and get out in the flat and feather," and then you say, "But explain to me what that is."
Yes, tell me what feathering is,
that's
Coach
called
Mack.
Coaching. See, coach me through what you did.
So what you do is, whenever you do rappelling, you will strap yourself into this rope that is connected to like a harness, kind of like very similar to what you would have in any garage that's holding up a truck or car or something like that. It's something that can hold up 200 pounds or 300 pounds or whatever it is. And you drop this weight, this line all the way down to the ground. I mean, from the top of this building all the way down to the ground. And then what you do is you put your safety harness on and you connect it to the rope. And what you're told is the speed in which you want to go down is determined by how much you release that rope as you're going down.
So you got on gloves.
You've got on gloves. And so if you want to go down fast, like your Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, you can just let that sucker go and boom, you're going down. If you want to go down slow, you can do that. If you want to do that.
Are you jumping down the building?
What you do is you start and you lean off. We're at the beginning of this. You're on top of this building and you are parallel to the ground. So it's like your feet are connected to the building, but you are standing straight up and pointing outward. And then all you do is take a leap of faith. And you jump back and you just start to slowly let go, and you just start to slowly rappel yourself down, all the way down.
So now you're saying Tannehill's done that.
I have a feeling Tannehill's rappelled down. I have a feeling he's probably been a skydiver. I think he's done all of that stuff. I'm telling you, this man has thrill seeker in his blood. I mean, that may be the reason he stayed with the Titans and behind that offensive line for so many years. I mean, can't get this rush with the Chiefs. Because I'll tell you right now, their offensive line, they give you a little bit more time. There's no thrill in the fight with them. Like it may be, but Tannehill's that guy, man. So we actually threw out this question on X because we want to know about your thrill seeking. If Ryan Tannehill is spearfishing and he's a pilot, we want to hear about yours. 615-737-1045 gets you in. Coming up at 2:20, Sam Phalen of A to Z Sports is going to be joining as well. We're going to ask him about some of his thrill-seeking adventures and what is the most thrill-seeking he's ever done in his entire life as well. And, of course, this all started because of Jerry Jones and Jimmy Hoffa. We continue. He is Blaine Bishop. I'm Joe Hunk, brought to you by All Four Seasons Garage Doors on 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, this is Blaine Bishop. I want to know if you have heard about peptides. Peptides are shaking up the fitness world. There are naturally occurring aminos in our bodies, and as we age, they start to decline. And at some point, you may need to be supplemented. This is why our workouts can stop being productive at the gym. And maybe you feel like you've hit a wall, or perhaps you feel tired all the time. You may be struggling to stay awake in the evenings when you get home from work. If you have that thought, this is just a normal part of aging. It doesn't have to be that way. Peptides are proven to increase muscle and performance, burn fat, help with recovery between workouts, and more. And peptides can even help with motivation and mental clarity. These are safe, naturally occurring aminos, not pharmaceuticals, a natural and holistic way to get your body back to peak performance. Plus, Edge Peptide Therapy has the most comprehensive blood panel around. So when you go to Edge, you'll know exactly what is going on inside of your body and what it needs to do to get back to peak performance, just like I did. So feel better from the inside out. So go to edgepeptide.com. Yes, that's edgepeptide.com, or you can give them a call at 615-724-1878. That's 724-1878.
So many people trust Two Rivers Ford. Football players, working moms, business owners. Why? Because Two Rivers Ford has been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Hunk. Ryan Tannehill met with Diana Rossini and had an interview with her. One question he got asked about was the Pittsburgh Steelers and if, with the conversations about Russell Wilson. Well, everybody be happy to know that Russell Wilson apparently is now on the sidelines because of a calf injury that is happening. And he says he tweaked it whenever they were pushing the sled. So if this continues to happen, Tannehill might have himself a new job. The Atlanta Braves take on the New York Mets tonight. Maybe they can catch a fly ball in the outfield, unlike last night in the extra innings. First pitch is going to be at 6:10. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans. This is 104.5 The Zone. Final hour, best hour. Here on 104.5 The Zone as the hitman Blaine Bishop and myself, Joe Hunt, brought to you by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. As we are starting to get those tweets in about some thrill-seeking things. Look, I'm not bashing Ryan Tannehill. I think it's awesome.
You are bashing Ryan Tannehill. You said he's a fake.
I'm bashing the boringness. I didn't want boring.
All right,
I do not
Reed is
want.
our judge. What is he bashing him or is he saying he's a fake? Or none of the above?
I don't know. I think he's saying.
Look at that Ryan Tannehill answer.
I think he's saying it would have been better for him to be more outgoing when he was here.
Yes.
And I agree with that statement.
Yes.
I think if we would have understood him more if he was like this when he was here.
Yes. Look, I love Will Levis. I mean, the way that Will Levis looked yesterday at practice, how confident, how comfortable, everything he looked in practice. I am excited about this team. Like it's not
his answers are not boring.
No, his answers are not boring. Look at what he just did on 3HL a couple of weeks ago. The man was like an opera singer or something when he was in high school.
Cool.
Like I want to see that stuff. Like show me this personality.
Well, see, is it because he was drafted by this team and then Tannehill was signed as a free agent, so we really didn't know him? We just knew him from afar because he was a trade, addition that became, the starting quarterback and did a good job initially.
He may have been. I don't know what the reason was why we got this Tannehill. I don't know if that was how he was coached, as in like his media people around him. I don't know if it was a Mike Vrabel thing like you discussed earlier. Don't know what it was. I just know I would have loved to have thrill-seeking Tannehill. I just think it would have been so much more fun.
Well, see, here's why. I'm going to say this. How much fun did people make of Will Levis and what he did in college with the banana?
Oh,
and he didn't like. See, that's why some of them go into the cave.
But I'll tell you right now. Here's the one thing the one reason, if nothing else, the comfort in the offense.
I thought it was okay.
His leadership, any of this stuff. I will tell you this offseason, the first time that I looked at Will Levis and I went, "Yep, that's our quarterback." I knew. I'll tell you the exact moment it was. We were in Las Vegas, and Will Levis was in Vegas taking on Trevor Lawrence in a ping pong competition.
Oh.
It was a ping pong competition. All these NFL players were there, and it was him, Trevor Lawrence, and I will tell you, if Will Levis took Trevor Lawrence out to the woodshed and he beat his tail in ping pong. And I said, that's our quarterback. That was it. The competitiveness, whatever that word, that he showed during that ping pong competition, that's our quarterback. Right there.
Trevor Lawrence didn't show that?
Trevor Lawrence showed like he was not that.
No. Are you referencing who won or lost?
No.
Or that you could still lose and be competitive?
Go watch the video.
Well,
I promise you, it looks like.
I thought you were there live. You watched the video.
You can watch it. I think Jim White even posted the video of this too. We're watching this thing and we're just going, look at how bad Trevor Lawrence looks at this. Like it doesn't even look like it looks like he's trying to try and don't know how. That's not my quarterback. That is not my quarterback at all. 615-737-1045. Set out to Ashland City. Frank, welcome in. How's it going?
Oh, it's going good. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic, man.
Great.
Okay. Y'all was talking about something to get your blood going, dangerous and everything. Well, all I got to do is go outside in the rain. It's very dangerous. I am one of the people that is allergic to water.
Wait, like, so right now in downtown Nashville, it is pouring down rain.
Yes, sir. I'm driving through it right now.
Well, I thought you were allergic to it.
I am allergic to it. I break out in hives from the water.
Oh, my. So you have to stay in your car?
No, I still got a life. I still live my life. It's more of an inconvenience than anything.
Wow.
But I break out in hives, and I feel like peeing poking me when I get wet. It's the rarest allergy in the world, actually.
I mean, I can imagine. I mean, seriously,
Yeah, I was in a hospital for 3 days for it a week ago because they thought my heart was messing up, but it's apparently affecting my heart also now.
Well, is it a special term they give it, or is just?
It's hard to explain. It's so rare. They're actually excited about studying me now because it's such rare. There's only 100 cases ever in the whole world.
Okay, so
That's the first I've ever heard of it.
No, it is me too. And there's
me too. Myself was 2 years ago. First time I ever heard of it.
And I cannot pronounce when I Googled this what it says that you are.
You took care of you.
That right there. That's it.
That's it. That's what I have.
Here's a real question, and I'm not trying to be funny. How do you take a bath? Or
I break out in hives, and my wife gives me 3 minutes to take a shower.
Wait, okay, so
and I have to get out. I break out in hives anytime I get wet. I sweat. I'll take a shower. I go swim. I can't go swimming no more, but anytime I get wet, I'll break out in hives.
So there's a limit to it then. So if you're in there 3 minutes in the shower, in and out, you okay most of the times?
No, I break out in hives.
Oh, wow. So the 3 minute limit is like, hey, any further than that, and it could actually like hurt you where you may like pass out or something in the shower.
Hospital.
Well, I've never pushed it that far, so I don't know. But I was told 3 minutes, and that's what my wife makes me do.
Do you have like emergency shots?
Now it's making my arteries in my heart retract, and it's a pain in the butt.
I mean, I can imagine.
Oh my!
I've never look. This is thrill seeking to a totally different level. Like hey, honey, you want to see how much I love you? Let me go jump into a pool. Like that's totally different.
Let me tell you something else. I was also struck by lightning when I was 11 years old.
Okay. So you're allergic to water, and you've also been struck by lightning?
Yes, sir.
Well, explain that experience.
The lightning was, I was 11 years old, and it knocked me probably 30 or 40 yards backwards. Never found my shoes I had on, my tennis shoes. Never found them. That's what I remember from it. It felt like I was swelled up for about a week. But I didn't go to the hospital. It's back in 1972.
It's just lightning.
Yeah. So I've been struck by lightning. I'm allergic to water. I'm a very rare bird that lives in Tennessee.
Well, we'll be praying for you, man.
Heck, I'm just.
Hey.
I mean, trust me.
It's at first it was unique, but now it's causing a bunch of health issues.
Have you been this way your whole life? Like, have you seriously?
Or has this morphed into this?
This came in the last 2 years of my life.
Oh, so like up until 2 years ago, Titans are playing at Nissan Stadium, and you're like, oh, it's raining, no big deal.
No big deal. Just the last about 2 years and 3 months, actually.
Do they say? Did the doctors tell you how this happened? Like
it's so rare. They really don't know much about it. It's rare.
Wow. Man.
I'm sure, like you said, you looked it up. You seen what I was talking about.
Absolutely, and I didn't even know that this was possible for somebody to be allergic to water and, like, again, even be like taking baths. Like I thought you would be having to use like dry soap or something like that.
No, I just deal with it. I just break out. It don't itch. It just makes me feel like I got pins poking me. And I get rid of a bunch of red hives all over me.
Well, bro, look, that's totally different.
From top to bottom.
No,
I get them from the top of my head to my feet.
Wow.
Oh, my.
Did not expect that. Did not expect that to be the answer.
Everybody says I'm lucky, but I don't feel lucky. It's so rare.
Absolutely. Well, look, Frank, hey, seriously, man, you've got a lot of people that are in the F&M Bank chat saying, like, prayers up for you going through this and stuff. Like, you're the first person I've ever heard of this happening to.
I'm going to ask you this question. Did
sir.
you have COVID and did that provoke something? Or
No, sir. I never had. My wife had COVID, but I never had it.
Talk about conspiracy theories.
They actually think it came from an eye virus. They're not for sure. They assume that's where it came from.
Like you got a virus in your eye, and
yes, sir. I had a real bad eye infection about 2.5 years ago, and they think they're not for sure. They're just assuming that's where it came from. They're still studying up on me.
And how many people in the world have this?
Ever 100 people.
100 people.
Ever.
Oh my God! All right, look. First off, Frank, thank you for listening. First off, and second, be careful. It's pouring down rain out there. It's good.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Hey, I hunt fish all the time. I just deal with it.
You fish?
Yeah, I'm outdoors. Hey, I'm a country boy. Yeah, I'm hunting fish.
I'd be a nervous wreck, but I'm going to fall into the water.
I ain't going to die from it.
I love you, Frank. I love you.
Hey, I love listening to y'all. I appreciate it. And throw some prayers for me.
Absolutely, man.
Sure, man.
Thank you, Frank. Thanks for that. He's scared of rain, yet he fishes. So he's willingly going into a river on a boat, but he's allergic. Like, Frank,
like he's getting used to it. I don't know.
I know.
They're living crap out of me, man.
It absolutely is. Absolutely. We've had some tweets come in. Scoob has sent us pictures of him white water rafting. That's some thrill seeking. White water canoeing.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then Kent just wants to put everybody to shame because Kent says, I used to jump out of a perfectly good airplane into combat zones for a living.
Huh?
That is thrill seeking. He was in the military.
No
Absolutely. 100. There you go. Jael says, man, we just learn something new every day. Yeah.
That's what we do.
There's so many questions. Echo says, can he drink water? Like, how do you get?
Oh,
Frank.
He cannot. No way.
All right, we're going to end this on a high note before
Who would have thought?
Sam Phalen coming up here in about 8 minutes. But before that, Vols news. Breaking Vols news. As I have just received the email, and we are officially good to go with the Gamer Zone as Hunk's baby Vols will be coming into existence this football season as we have been approved to preview every single Tennessee Vols football game now utilizing College Football 25.
Don't let Jackson be the other team.
Jackson is not going to come near this. It is going to actually, I may actually want him to because somebody's gotten much better. But we've had people in the chat asking about this. We have had people shooting tweets to me. It has finally gotten approved. Hunk's baby Vols be coming your way before the Vols' very first game at the end of August. The Gamer Zone is coming back, man.
Gamer Zone. I thought the breaking news that was Tua signed a 4-year, $212 million.
Nah, we do real news.
I thought that's what it was.
Real news.
I was stunned when it wasn't.
Nah, real news here. Blaine Bishop with real
that was
news.
Not me.
Real news from Blaine Bishop on that, as Sam Phalen is going to join us. And no, Blaine is not kidding. Tua Tagovailoa has signed a brand new deal with the Miami Dolphins. 4 years, $212.4 million contract extension.
Man.
Woo-wee. 615-737-1045. Sam Phalen of A to Z Sports joins us next here on 1045 The Zone.
You ever wonder why so many pro athletes go and use stem cell therapy? Because it works. I'm Ron Slade, retired 14-year pro basketball player, and I needed to get this done. After I went through my entire career riddled with injuries, I needed therapy, so I went to Kellum Stem Cell Institute out in Franklin. Why? Because they're the stem cell specialists. They can be yours too. They're the stem cell specialists of the Tennessee Titans. You know why? Because it works.
Make an appointment today with Kellum Stem Cell Institute.
Sam Phalen coming up in just a few seconds as the Olympic opening ceremony is going on right now in Paris. That's Pitbull.
Oh, I can't even tell.
I think it's Pitbull.
You got those glasses? I couldn't even. Is that him?
It looks like either Pitbull or Gronk with a shaved head. One of the two.
Oh, that's not Gronk.
It's not Gronk, so we're going to say that it's Pitbull. As the F&M Bank chat also open to you. If you missed it just a few seconds ago, it broke that Tua Tagovailoa has gotten a brand new 4-year contract extension worth over $200 million. $212.4 million to be exact, as we are joined now by Sam Phalen of A to Z Sports. And Sam, before we get into the Titans stuff, we've been talking about thrill seeking, because if you have heard the interview that Diana Taurasi, totally wrong person, Diana Rossini. Diana Taurasi, she may be a thrill seeker too, but Diana Rossini was doing with Ryan Tannehill and Chase Daniels, as he started the interview off by talking about spearfishing and how he's a spear fisherman. And I'm saying we have been getting Ryan Tannehill has been putting on a face for us for the last 4 years, and that he's a thrill seeker. So for you, we ask you, I've bungee jumped, or I have rappelled off the side of buildings. We want to know what are some extreme things that you have done thrill seeking wise?
Man, I do fancy myself a thrill seeker, a lot like Ryan Tannehill. I'm always looking for the next adventure. First thing that comes to mind is skydiving for me. I've been skydiving. I love skydiving. I would go again in a heartbeat. So that probably is mine, Joe. Sam Phalen, the skydiver.
Now,
skydiving. Wow.
Okay, so let me ask, how many times have you been skydiving?
I've been twice.
Okay, so are you wanting to get to the point, because I know you have to do tandem for a while, and then you can do it by yourself. Like, are you wanting to get to the point where you're jumping out of the plane by yourself?
Look, I would if it wasn't so dang expensive, man. Like, it's not bad one time when you're going. I think it's like $150 or whatever it is to go one time. But I think you got to do like 20 jumps or something to get yourself to the able to be licensed to go by yourself. I would love to do that, but I'm not sure I've got the bankroll to be out here skydiving all the time.
Oh man!
Wow. All right, so then let's.
How high were you up?
Oh yeah, how high did you jump?
High?
No, yeah, how high did you jump?
I think it's like 10,000 feet, something like that. I think that's pretty standard.
Oh, just standard. 10,000 feet, that's standard. So right now, which Titans rookie is feeling like they're jumping 10,000 feet out of a plane?
Or just standard?
Because it's standard.
I mean, anybody on the offensive line now is looking a little bit overwhelmed. They probably don't know what hit them. So the speed of Arden Key and this defensive line seem to be eating up the offensive line early on, but no pads are on. So, I'll withhold judgment for a little bit, but I think every rookie is probably getting punched in the mouth by the speed of an NFL practice and, having to make a quick adjustment here.
Sam Phalen of A to Z joining us right now, 104.5 The Zone.
Yeah, it's a little different, especially for the offensive lineman with no pads on. But you said Arden Key. Who has he been going against most of those time?
Hey, Arden Key's been working against J.C. Latham, and for me, Blaine, this is not a bad thing for J.C. Latham, though. I gotta say, I really, really am excited to watch how J.C. Latham improves going against Arden Key, because what do we know about J.C. Latham coming out of Alabama? If he gets his hands on you, you are done. You are getting displaced by that man. He is a strong, strong individual. Now, his biggest weakness is probably against speed rushers, guys who have quick bursts off the edge, guys who can bend and have great balance. That's really Arden Key's bread and butter. That's what he does best. And so J.C. Latham is getting reps at left tackle every single day, and he will continue to every single day for the next 5 weeks leading up to the regular season, going against a guy with a great get off the line of scrimmage, a guy who's nimble, great balance, bends really well, and a speed rusher in Arden Key. And so if J.C. Latham can really improve his technique going against speed rushes, I mean, he becomes a really well-rounded left tackle. And in J.C. Latham's defense, right, all of his game is power from, the left side of the line at left tackle. And you don't really get to see power on display when pads are not on in practice.
Well, let's stick with the tackle theme, and that is, what about the right tackle, and who's been taking the number one reps? How they look?
Right now, It's been a lot of John Ojukwu, which Titans fans may or may not remember that name. He saw very limited action in 2023, kind of worked as a tackle and a sixth offensive lineman at times. He was an undrafted free agent out of Boise State last year. He's starting at right tackle right now. Nicholas Petit-Frere is on the active PUP list, so hopefully we'll be back before long. He had a scope in his knee done during the offseason that has kept him out of these first few practices, but I'm really excited to watch that competition develop. And one thing Brian Callahan has told the media about right tackle is that it's going to be the best tackle, period, that gets that job. That means guys like Jerron Christian, Leroy Watson, some of these veteran additions the Titans made during the offseason could always get thrown over there at right tackle. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention the possibility of the Titans going out of house for their right tackle job. I mean, we had this exact same debate this time last year. We sat here and said, who's going to be the right tackle? Is it NPF? Is it Jamarco Jones? Anybody remember that name, Jamarco Jones?
Oh, yeah.
And we talked about who was going to be the starter. And then next thing you know, they signed Chris Hubbard off the street after he's released, and he becomes the day one starter, week one starter at right tackle. So you never know as some of these cuts are going down around the league how the position might change, but good for OJ. John Ojukwu starting right now, getting some of the first-team looks.
Well, all the boring things about O-line was coming to the forefront. What about the right guard? Dylan Radins? Is he in play here? Where's Brunskill?
Listen, Brunskill was sick. He came back, and he did work, some right guard reps. I think Brunskill is going to be the backup center. I think that's where he is probably, looking at, being that guy behind Lloyd Cushenberry is the backup center that can also play left guard or right guard. Dylan Radins is in the conversation and going to continue to be in the battle for it, but the favorite for me is Sadiq Charles. Sadiq Charles, they signed him this offseason, came over from Washington, got some, a big praise from Randy Jordan, who came from Washington himself and coached the running backs in Washington. So he saw what it was like running behind Sadiq Charles. And this is a guy that Bill Callahan really loves. And my philosophy for this Titans offensive line right now, if Bill Callahan loves you, you're probably going to play. Sadiq has been taking the first-team reps at right guard, and I think he is the favorite at the start of camp to win the job.
How was his health at Washington, Charles? Is that why he didn't kind of play out where he got more opportunities, or do we know?
I'm having a hard time saying. I don't know if health was ever really a concern with him. I think he was just kind of he didn't really come into his own until a little bit later in his career. He was a backup for the first 3 years. It's not like he was a high draft pick or anything. He was picked in the 4th round in 2020 out of LSU, which is also relevant because he was college teammates with Lloyd Cushenberry. So you're talking about two guys and chemistry on the offensive line, how important that is. But if he's lined up next to his former college teammate, there's a relationship there. But he really came into his own as he's gotten older here. His age 24 season was in 2023. He started 10 games for the Commanders and, was pretty productive. So maybe he is a starting guard, and maybe Bill Callahan sees a little something in him that he thinks he can work with.
Well, I guess lastly, what do you think about the Titans signing Levin and as well as Ray at the defensive end?
I never got a chance to see Shane Ray during the tryout period. That was one guy that I actually missed. So I am excited to get my eyes on him because I've heard great things. A lot of my media colleagues were impressed with his athleticism that he showed in his tryout period. Corey Levin is just the gift that keeps on giving right now for the Titans. It feels like, he just keeps on coming back. And, he's familiar with this team, familiar with a lot of the guys in this locker room. And another name I think that comes in and gives you some options for that backup center job, insurance for Tennessee, because if Daniel Brunskill ends up having to be your starting right guard and he ends up having to play somewhere that is not backup center, I think Levin is a logical choice to slot in there and potentially make the team as a veteran guy.
There you have it.
And Sam Phalen is joining us from A to Z Sports. And Sam, when Blaine and I saw you out at the field yesterday, you were standing and watching the secondary go on and Jamal Adams. And obviously we were paying attention to him a lot throughout this training camp in the first few days on that. What did you see and have seen over the first few days of you being at camp?
listen, Jamal Adams, I want to give the guy his flowers, and I want to just, say how much I've been impressed with him, both on and off the field. I know it's 2 days, but Jamal Adams stood at the podium and talked to Titans media after his first practice with the team and fielded what I thought were some very difficult questions. Not unfair questions, but difficult questions. Mm-hmm. And when you're a guy in the NFL who's been as good as Jamal Adams has been, and you're an all-pro, and you're a Pro Bowler, you are a superstar in this league, a lot of those guys, from my perspective, tend to be a little arrogant or caught in the past. They're not as open to criticism. And Jamal Adams was asked questions like, hey, are you washed? Do you still have the same kind of game that you did 4 years ago? Why are we supposed to believe that you're still the same player? And he didn't get defensive. He didn't, get all offended by the fact that people were asking the question. I think he took it on the chin and said, hey, I'm confident in myself, but I also know that I have to go improve it. So just the way that he speaks, the level of passion and intensity and enthusiasm that he talks to people with, I think is really refreshing and cool. And I think I've seen that translate onto the practice field. He walks with a swagger and passion while he's playing the game that is contagious to the people watching, and I'm sure the players on the field with him. He lined up at nickel and took some reps in coverage in the slot. I thought he looked very adequate there. He had a nice sack of Will Levis where he just bursted straight through the line untouched, threw his hand up in the air, and let everybody know that Jamal Adams just sacked the quarterback in case you weren't paying attention. So he's been moving really well, and I've liked what I've seen. So all signs are good for Jamal Adams, and I want to give him credit for how he has handled his first couple of days here, because I think it's actually kind of rare for somebody of his caliber to have that mentality at this stage in their career.
Well, and Sam, as you were paying attention to Jamal Adams, there were also other defensive players that's kind of gotten talked about a lot more in the last 24 hours, like a Kenneth Murray, who I think through all the other signings has been forgotten about, and we've seen all these signings taking place with him. We know about the depth at the linebacker position with him, but is there another position that could use another signing that we could see over the course of the next few days, and maybe it is linebacker with that position?
It definitely could be linebacker. I definitely think safety is still a conversation, as I love Jamal Adams, but I think, there's a question about, hey, could they use somebody like Quandre Diggs, who is that free-roaming safety back there, and another guy in coverage? Maybe they need another veteran cornerback with the injuries that have gone on here. I mean, Chido Awuzie now has missing at least 2 weeks with a calf strain. You've got L'Jarius Sneed doing injury management. But, I would say at linebacker, I feel okay right now. I've actually liked what I've seen from Jack Gibbons and Kenneth Murray. I think Cedric Gray will continue to get better throughout his rookie year. Between those three guys, I think they'll be okay. Denard Wilson's defense is built to make life easy on an inside linebacker. It's built to allow them to play downhill, fill your run gaps, go get after the football. That's what guys like Gray and Murray do really well. And so I don't know if they necessarily need to go get a linebacker, but I wouldn't hate to see another free safety or more depth in the secondary if there's money to be spent.
Okay, the Quandre Diggs thing. We know that Jamal got asked about that during his time at the podium amongst the questions that you were talking about. Is that a legit thing? Are we thinking that a Diggs or Simmons or something like that is still a real thing that could happen over the course of the next few weeks?
It's something they've kicked the tires on. We know that they're at least entertaining the idea. Now, the question is, does it make sense for Quandre Diggs? Is Tennessee the spot that makes the most sense for him? And as Jamal Adams referred to, he said, look, I've been in contact with Quandre. I would love to play with him. I would love to meet back up with him. But I also know how the free agency process works as somebody who just went through it. And I know that it's not that simple, that there's a lot of variables at play here. I think it is a real possibility still that the Titans are not done adding to the secondary. I don't know if Justin Simmons is realistic just because of the price tag I think he would command right now. But Quandre Diggs, who fits their need for a free safety that can excel in coverage and split the field with Amani Hooker, working in there with Elijah Molden and Jamal Adams. And as I've said before, Denard Wilson loves 3 safety looks in his defense. It's what he did a lot of in Baltimore with Hamilton, Williams, and Stone. And so I think it's still a real possibility that we get Quandre Diggs in the Titans uniform. And the closer we get to week 1, the more likely I think it could get.
Well, look, man, we appreciate it. We know you've been killing it out there with A to Z, and we actually have somebody on hold right now. His name is Greg. He's wanting to ask you a question about this Titans team. So let's get Greg on. Greg, what's that question you got, bro?
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Yes, all right, so I'm calling all the way from Rhode Island. I'm a Titans fan here.
Oh.
You know, I look at a lot of the recent teams that have been great, and I try to think, what's the deepest Titans team ever? I don't think it's this one just because I think at middle linebacker they're just lacking a little. We don't know what they're doing at offensive line. If you give me 2 more guys there, this might be the deepest Titans team ever. And I just want to get your opinion on that. And Blaine, I've been watching the NFL channel. They replayed the original Super Bowl. Buddy, that stop you made in the end zone, that the game doesn't go anywhere without that. So I hope you know that. Hope you guys have a great day.
Hey, thanks for that, Greg. Thanks for listening from Rhode Island, man. Sam, what do you think? Oh, yeah. Bad, man.
Yeah, what do you think, Sam?
Yeah, listen, I think the depth of this team is a strength in some areas and, for me, a point of concern in other areas. And really, it's the 2 position groups that were the weakest last year, being the secondary and the offensive line, that I am concerned about if you had a series of injuries, what the backup plan would be. I think on paper, the Titans and their front office, Rand Carthon, Chad Brinker, and these guys have done a lot to overturn this roster, bring in a lot of talent that makes you look on paper and say, hey, the Titans are improved. But, I would just pose the question, if you had injuries to a Peter Skoronski or J.C. Latham, do we feel good about the Titans' depth on the offensive line? I can't say that I do. Do we feel good if Cheeto and L'Jarius Sneed have some injuries and you're having to play a Trey Avery? I can't say that I do. So, I do think they're really deep at wide receiver. I think they have a nice backup quarterback. I think they're deep on the defensive line, and they have a lot of options to go. And those are important places to acquire depth. But those 2 position groups in particular, to me, could definitely use a little bit of a boost. And maybe to Greg's point, maybe you do add a linebacker or another safety, and you do boost those groups up a little bit here before the start of the season.
Well, I have to ask you a couple more questions here before we let you go. And the first one is D-Hop. Would you give him an extension, and what would it be?
Man, oh, wow. Numbers? You're coming at me for numbers?
Yeah, man, numbers, man. You the GM Phalen.
All right, give me. Man, I don't want to disrespect D-Hop. I'm trying to be.
Hey, man, you got to be a negotiator.
DeAndre, if you don't like these numbers, forget I said it, man. You can have whatever you want, but I'm going to go for, I'll say 3 years, $60 million, give him 20 per year, and I would extend DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, has this been, I don't know, he's just been so perfect across the board. He has been so good for the culture, so good for the city of Nashville. He has embraced this fan base. I think the fan base loves him. He's been a great leader in the locker room, helping Will Levis. Levis and him seem to have a very good connection and great chemistry. I don't think there's real signs of decline in Hopkins from what I saw last year, and his style of play, it seems pretty sustainable to me. The things that he does well, his level of body control, his consistent hands, steady route running. These are all aspects of DeAndre Hopkins' game that I don't necessarily think he will lose as time goes on. So I would love to have D-Hop here long term. And as long as he's happy, which he says he's happier than he's ever been in his career, it makes sense. Get it done. And, he's somebody who I don't think necessarily needs to be paid like one of the top receivers in the game. But, you go ahead, give him a nice 3 years, $60 million. Maybe you buy out this year and you get 2 more years out of him, and you make D-Hop a Titan for the foreseeable future here.
All right, lastly, real quick, we got to ask about DeAndre Sweat. I mean, everybody's asking, how's he looking in camp? Is he in shape? Is he, struggling? What's going on?
Listen, T'Vondre Sweat is dealing with things that every rookie deals with, and even some veterans deal with, which is you get back to training camp and you're not necessarily in football shape right away. You can be in shape and then there's football shape. And Blaine, these are very different things. And you have to get yourself worked up a little bit through training camp to really understand, hey, this Tennessee heat and this humidity going through a full practice is no joke. So, I mean, I'm encouraged by the fact that he's out there, by the fact that he's doing everything. He is in individual period, going through drills. He's in team period, working his way in there. We dealt with the concerns about Traylon Burks' conditioning a few years ago, and the difference is Traylon was doing half practices. He's doing individual period and going inside, or he's skipping drills and not out there for team period, whatever it is. T'Vondre Sweat's fully participating. He says he feels good. Brian Callahan likes what he's seen out of him early. So I think everybody needs to chill out on the T'Vondre Sweat stuff. We'll get answers soon enough, and I know not everybody's crazy about the draft pick. I loved the draft pick. I'm a big T'Vondre Sweat guy, and that might be an unpopular opinion, but we can't be out here looking for reasons to criticize this kid before he's even put on pads in an NFL practice. Let's slow our roll. He's out there just like Brian Callahan promised us he would be, and let's see what he's got. I'm excited to see what he's got, especially once the pads come on.
Yeah, completely agree. Thanks, Sam.
Yes, Sam, we appreciate it, and just knowing that when you get off the phone and you look at your X updates, we have tweeted at D-Hop with your offer. So just letting you know.
We will keep it.
Man.
I just quoted you and just said,
I
even
thought
at
those
the
were
end.
fair. You
know what?
Offer.
I will tell you though. In his career, there's only been one season where he has made over $20 million. So he may like your deal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if he's mad at me at the next Titans practice on Saturday, it's all your guys' fault, and I'll blame you.
Absolutely.
Quick.
Yeah. Blame me.
Yeah, you can definitely blame it 100% on us. Okay.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
All right. See you, Sam. We appreciate it, man. That is Sam Phalen of A to Z Sports. When we come back, you're going to have an opportunity to win a 4-pack of tickets to go see the Atlanta Braves and the Milwaukee Brewers for Tennessee Alumni Night coming up on August 7th. We're going to tell you how when we come back on 104.5 The Zone.
Shot. For many of you who have lived here a long time, you already know Eurofix has been in Middle Tennessee area for your European car repair needs now for 24 years. And we all gotten to watch them grow. And I don't know about you, but I love watching a hometown business take off. Well, we're now proud to announce the 5th location in Mount Juliet for Eurofix on Mount Juliet Road, right across the street from Dairy Queen. And Eurofix can serve you in Franklin, Hundred Oaks, Murfreesboro, Belmead, and now Mount Juliet. Pretty cool getting to watch a small-town mechanic starting in the barn of his backyard of a single-wide trailer and now grow to 5 locations repairing thousands of cars each month. And at Eurofix, you get a 3-year nationwide warranty and a free loaner car with every repair appointment. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or you can just visit them online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com. But always don't blaze it, Joe.
Wrap it up on this Friday. 3HL coming up in about 12 minutes from right now. Blaine jumping up and down because the song
Jump.
Jump.
I can jump right here. And 42 inches went to this.
42 inches went to 6 inches?
Yeah, that's what I did to combine, 42 and a half.
Oh,
yeah,
my bad,
don't
42
forget
and a
the
half.
half there, Reed. Man.
Oh,
Come
no,
on.
trust me.
That's why he
Inches.
played it. He wanted to see how high I could still jump.
Every inch
I think I
matters.
Still got it.
Still got it.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing.
So earlier we asked you about
28.
the thrill seeking and stuff. All that. We had somebody that just sent us a post on X, which sounds weird to even say. But Brian says that he snuck into the Olympic ski training course and went down the mountain in circle sleds.
Oh, that's pretty adventurous there.
Yep. He says beers didn't even help us realize how far we had to walk uphill in the snow after. Yeah. So that being the case,
I tried to go to the big hill for skiing. Thought I was, I'm good. I did the small, I did the baby hill, I did the medium hill. I went to the big boy hill and I was going so fast.
See?
I panicked and ran into a tree.
See, it goes back to our conversation.
That's why
I would, if I did it, I would want to be like snowboarding, and that's even harder than just trying to ski.
Right.
So I would try to do the stupid stuff, and I would try to jump off the hills, and I'd break my neck, and I would do those things. So I'm basically just keeping myself alive by not trying the things that I want to try.
Snowboarding's not that hard. That's not bad.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know that, Mr. Snowboarder.
No, you could do it.
So you're saying skiing's
You
harder?
could easily do it. Skiing is harder, but snowboarding is harder to get really good at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
As you may have heard, he's the hitman Blaine Bishop. I'm Joe Hunk, joined by Sean White of snowboarding fame, all Four Seasons Garage Doors. And we're going to get Sean to work over here, as it is your opportunity now that you can go see the Braves and Milwaukee Brewers coming up on August 7th, as they will be back at Truist Park in Atlanta for Tennessee Alumni Night.
Whoa.
As you can go and enjoy the Battery, which is going to be what is going to be now also being built in Knoxville around Neyland Stadium and Thompson Bowling Arena, as they are building a Battery there. So if you've never been to Atlanta, your opportunity to go see what it's about, as well as enjoy the Braves game in a pennant chase right now, as Atlanta is getting ready in the month of August. But you've got to be caller number 5 right now, 615-737-1045, and you will win those 4-pack of tickets to go watch the Braves hosting the Milwaukee Brewers for the University of Tennessee Alumni Night on Wednesday, August 7th.
Not a lot of alumni in there in Georgia and Atlanta, huh?
I know, right? I mean,
it is. They do a lot of, it's a fertile recruiting
well, see,
ground.
and this is where it's great, because we had a caller call in from Rhode Island. We can have people that are listening on the 104.5 The Zone app or watching on Zone TV, and they can call in and win as well, and they're already in Atlanta, so they don't even have to go that far. So, see, that's the reason why when we tell you F&M Bank Chat is wide open to you on Facebook, YouTube, X, as well as Twitch, as it is now pouring down rain at the Olympics.
Oh, it is. It is. I thought you were talking about pouring down these lines.
These lines are pouring
going
down.
Crazy.
Frank would be terrified right now with all the blue that's coming out of the sky.
Is it raining?
Yeah, it's been pouring down rain in Nashville as well. It is pouring. Somebody on the chat said that it's like buckets coming down.
It's
right now,
at least right by us.
Not right now.
Looked like it
My
was.
entire drive in today, nothing but pouring down rain.
Oh, it was.
It was.
Like that.
And if you're looking for something to do, Lee shoots us a message on the FM Bank chat. Says if you get to go watch Deadpool and Wolverine, it's funny, action packed, and incredible. He saw it last night in 3D.
Oh yeah, you're going.
I'm so trying. The problem is my son is my movie buddy.
Right.
He's my movie buddy.
Well, every now and then, you got to take a little. You're talking about the ski board and all that. You can't take him to the R-rated.
I know. I can. And it would be great, and he would love it. The problem is...
It's the blood and stuff? Is that why it's R-rated?
No, yeah, it's R-rated, and because there's a few 1,700 F words involved.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nothing that they haven't heard at home.
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, trust me. Okay. And the other thing is like, look, I will skydive. I will snowboard. I would go and I would do everything in the water, like shark diving and all that sort of stuff. I would do every bit of that. But I have to then leave the movie theater and come home and see my wife. That's more terrifying than anything else. She has already, and she has already told me no on this movie for taking him.
You're gonna be sleeping on that couch, so I think you need to make that decision.
I'm gonna try to turn this into a date night so we can go watch Deadpool and Wolverine. I want to do that.
But who won those tickets, though?
I want to know. Reed, hit us up. Who won the tickets?
Aaron.
Aaron won the tickets. So congratulations to Aaron.
Who?
Cawthorn.
Well, you didn't have. You could have said Aaron of Brentwood, Aaron of Smyrna, Aaron of Lebanon, whatever.
We don't ask for cities. We ask for zip codes. I don't know, and it was a zip code.
Bless it.
Oh, okay. There you go.
There it is. And he's Aaron of Zip Code. That's who our winner is.
And I'm Blaine of Zip Line.
He is Blaine of Zip Line, and I am Joe Hunk of Rappelling.
Sean of snowboarding.
Sean of snowboarding behind the glass, as well as we are now about to hand it off to 3HL of In the Studio as Brent Doherty, Ron Slay, and Don Davenport are ready to come in. So we will be leaving as the Olympics continues. And so Zeph will be behind the glass as well. So we'll find out about him and what he is famous for being and doing. But we will be heading out, and I'm going to go try to see Deadpool and Wolverine. Just for that. I'm going to go try. My wife is listening. Let's make it a date night. But in the meantime.
And in between time.
Peace.